Okay, now let's take you to the credit bureau market. I'm going to join on the program by the Chief Executive of Credit Registry Services, Mrs. Jameelah Sharieff-Ayedun. She joins me here in the studio. Good morning, madam.
Good morning.
Good to have you on the program. Credit bureau has been in the news for a long time. Take us through how the market has been in the past few years since the licensing by the central bank for some credit bureau operations in the country.
Yes, thank you, first of all, for having me today. And the credit bureau market, or credit reporting market in general, has been now in Nigeria. This year marks the 25th year of credit reporting in Nigeria. I must say that the central bank is the one who actually initiated, if you will, Nigeria's first public bureau back in 1991. And so that still exists today, which is the credit risk management system. And then certainly after that, then in 2003, Nigeria experienced having its first private credit bureau on ground, which is the company that I'm here representing today. And then furthermore, licensing began in 2008, and now we have 3 license bureaus here in Nigeria. XDS is the first license bureau, and then we also have CRC, and then Credit Registry Services as well, our license bureaus here in Nigeria. So the progress has been, like I said, over 25 years, and the whole meaning behind it is to be able to allow or enable economic growth. We want to have everyday Nigerians who are working to have access to credit, and that can only come by way of information, and that's what your bureaus provide you, is information.
So how have these bureaus fared, those who are in operation?
Well, it's still a growing process here at this point. We're trying to bring more awareness to the market regarding that, to the operators, those who will have access to this information. The information is primarily, it enables them to be able to manage their risk. We want to be able to say those who have less risk and who are going to be able to pay off their loans and pay off the business loans that they get or personal loans that they get, they should have access to credit at a lower rate. So, being able to have risk-based pricing is a great way in order to stir the market and enable those to be able to have access to more credit. So the bureaus are growing. From day one, about 60,000 records on the bureau back in 2003. Today, over 30 million records of individuals and businesses on the bureau. So it's absolutely growing.
How much of these risks have been managed by our financial institutions? Of course, we know that the debt portfolio, loan portfolio right now is very high for the banks, and the challenge has been in getting some of these loans back from those who actually borrowed them in the first instance. How has credit bureaus helped in actually reducing this high debt portfolio?
Right. Credit bureaus help in various ways, right? First of all, in this market, we are both a positive and negative credit reporting system. That means that we take in information on loans that are doing well, as well as loans that are not doing so well. And this allows a lender to be able to make a better informed decision at the point they're ready to advance that credit. So at this point, all the commercial banks, 100% of them, are utilizing the system. But there are other markets out there that we certainly encourage to provide information and use information from the bureaus, so they can also grow their own portfolio of customers and be able to manage their risk. So lenders today, while certainly the market, it's more than just the information that's on the bureau, it's also the market itself. As you can see, with oil prices and things also being affected in this market, the loans that were given for those particular industries are also, at high risk at this point due to that. But at least that information is available. So as those companies are growing, everyone would know the type of credit that they have available.
Now, you were instrumental to the introduction of biometric identity management into the Nigerian financial system, and you also worked on the development and introduction of common template reporting that was adopted by the central bank and other banks for credit reporting, among other things that you've done. But how has this impacted on the activities of credit bureaus in the country?
Right. Thank you for that question. Certainly one thing that bureaus identified early on, even in the starting of this particular industry, is that you have to be able to identify the subjects that are on the bureau. And lenders have to be able to identify and have confidence and trust that once they avail a loan to you, that they can know who you are if you go somewhere else. And so that is why the bureaus certainly pitched the idea to the central bank early on to let's have a financial ID, or if you will, today it's called the BVN. And I say through the thought leadership of the central bank and at that time the CBN governor, Sanusi Lamido Sanusi, they took that to the Bankers Committee, and I think it was well received, and now you can see that that's working well today. Other advances that I believe the industry is moving in is that common data template that you spoke of. This provides, if you will, the industry a minimum elements of data that can be accessible from all lenders. And that is important. So at least when you're doing analysis, you know, the future of Nigeria is all going to be built on the data that's collected today. So that analysis is going to be very critical in how we choose to advance more credit in the market.
Thank you so much. Jameelah Sharieff-Ayedun, CEO, Credit Registry Services. Thank you for your time with us on the program.